We see few enough strangers now. Dust, dents, and scars. Greetings.
You have the remains of the hammer. It is... I should have expected this. It was forged in the Hall of the First Sworn. It must, I think, be reforged there. The hall is not far, only... I don't know what to do when we get there. The hall lies south through the canyons. Meet me there. He has gone to free the Niskaru Lord. Pray we are not too far behind to stop him. They are powerful beyond anything you could imagine. This one was called Kamazandu, the Deceitful One. The text claimed the Arathi themselves imprisoned him in the mountain after he proved too clever to kill. We need it restored if we hope to defeat Beeson, and for that, I'm afraid, we must journey to the Hall of the First Sworn. I haven't been here since I was young. It is as full of old books and dusty scrolls as I remember. Legend tells it is there that Eamon was transformed from a prince to the first of the Warsworn. It became a meeting place of sorts in the time of the First Sworn. Not all our wisdom was left to gather dust on Eamon's Isle. I have learned the location of the Niskaru Lord's mountain prison. But first, we must deal with that hammer. That means the Hall of the First Sworn. Yes, time is short. The Hall of the First Sworn is south and east through the canyons. Meet me there when you are ready.
Dust, dents, and scars.
Rumor has it the Jotun are preparing for
I'll be at the ruins. Come as soon as you can.
the heights of Menethir are thick.
I'm sorry for the way I left Ironfast. The last time I saw my mother was the day she set off for these ruins. She came here and never returned. I thought maybe... But we must be going. Records speak of a sacred passage that leads to the forge. They say he came to this place a prince, and left it sworn to war. How he entered the passage, what he learned there, none but he know. It's said that the way from the sacred passage to the forge opened only for Eamon, and at its end, he learned the secrets of the First Sworn. It's also said to have closed and sealed the day that he died. When I was young, my father touched the hilt of a chaos-cursed dagger. The magic within disfigured and diseased him. My mother spent the rest of her life in search of a remedy. She felt sure some wisdom from the Warsworn's past could cure him. We had fought chaos, after all. So she delved into our past, searched everywhere, until she came here. Yes, to reach the ancient forge, you must go through a sacred passage. Of course, I can't be certain. No one but Eamon himself has ever walked those halls. Lead on, Oathblade. We'll know it when we see it. Stop. There you are. She was so close. Look, that must be the sacred passage there. All right, let's do this. There's no hope. We've come all this way. For what? You and I are not Eamon. How can we ever hope to pass through that? Yes, but it can't be done. Try for yourself. Ancient magic bars the way.
Only those foreseen may enter here. Fate bars this path, and none may alter fate. Approach, mortal. The hammer must be remade. The hammer. To the forge. You will know the way. The wisdom is within you.
So this is it. The forge room of the First Sworn. Mitharu. Look at it, how it shines. This is a weapon of legend. Held in Aegon's hands, it felled Niskaru by the score. But now we have our own legends to make. The Niskaru Lord Kamazondu is imprisoned in Cloudcrest Mountain, in the Hollowlands. As Beeson weaves his spell, something called the Niskaru Lord's Crown will emerge. Are you listening? It is not truly a crown, but emanations of the Niskaru Lord itself, as it emerges from the mountain. It cannot escape all at once. So if we can injure these first projections with the Mystic Hammer, we can close the door Beeson seeks to open. Cloudcrest Mountain looks over the southern Hollowlands, west of here. I will go to Ironfast Keep for reinforcements and meet you there. It worked before when Aegon fought Farlong. Let's hope that it works for you. The first emanations of the Niskaru Lord, emerging from, if I read correctly, the mountain itself. That's the first stage of the spell. Let's not find out what happens after that. A Niskaru Lord is an immense being of pure chaos. Kamazondu's nature is, that of great cunning and persuasion. Be wary and believe nothing it says. They both suffered and died because the knowledge and memory of our order was squandered and lost. I will not forget that. But I can be content that their deaths were not in vain either. In the end, he but dreamed a nightmare. But Beeson might make the nightmare real. He plans to free a Niskaru Lord, and we hope to stop him. Mitharu help us. Yes, it lies south along the Hollowlands. I will be there with reinforcements. Make yourself ready. This will be a trial like none you've known. To the mountain then, and our final task. Look, Beeson has carved his own way into the mountain, and that will be our route as well. Let's go.
Forsworn. Great gods! Forsworn. Oathblade. To war! Oathblade. Oathblade.
We'd better keep going.
Oathblade.
We'll hold them back. You go on. Do what you came to do. said we'll hold them off. You go on.
What have you done, you fool? Do you think this war can be won without me? Mortals cannot triumph against such malice. We've fought this war for more than 10 years. We could fight 100 more, and for nothing. I could have ended it. I could have promised 1,000 years of peace and protection under my rule. With Kamazandu at my side, and an Iskaru host at my command, who could threaten us? No one. I am sick of the doctrines of Rathir. Power must be hidden, guide from an unseen source. Cowards. Great power must reveal itself and stretch its wings. Why not? Great fire forges swords. The foolish always let such things keep them from the greater good. Peace will not come on its own. We must bend the cycle of the seasons if we desire lasting peace. There is no other way. Now,
little one. It seems I won't be stretching my limbs so soon. It is a shame that the mage proved so feeble an instrument of my will. Would that I had a better, stronger one. That is true. What a shame. I was nearly free after so long, but the seal is cracked, and my mind may now wander. Imagine what I could do if I had an instrument through which to act as well. A sword is an instrument, but it is valued for its deeds and not its boasts. Your friend and comrade awaits below. Kill her, then return to me. That man's blood will be your birth.
What have you done, Do you think this war can be won without me? We've fought with Kamazandu at my side. Great power must reveal itself and stretch its... You cannot cast down... I have felt I will deliver us from this eternal war. Why not? The foolish... We must now die.
Would that I had a better, stronger one. That is true. Imagine what I could do. Your glory is bright, little one. But in less than a blink of my eye, your candle will flicker and fade. A whiff of smoke, then nothing. But I will be here still. I will chuckle when you die. And when I am freed, I will laugh until the seas boil and the mountains shake.
I saw it all from over there. You were like one of the first sworn in living flesh. When you're ready, head back to the Hall of the First Sworn. Don't keep us waiting there, all right? I don't know how you forged it or what magic it contains, but I do know it worked. I saw it for myself. Kamazandu is restored to its prison, thanks to you. Dead. Right over there. Aegon himself would have been impressed. Yes, to the hall. Just come, you'll see. Hall of the First Sworn. Don't delay.
Be gone, speck of dust. Enter. Stand before the sworn assembly. You have done great deeds. You have shined brightly as Caerwyn's blade and cleared the dust from our most glorious past. You have felled foes beyond imagining, and stayed true and sworn to war. Therefore, I proudly bestow upon you the high and treasured rank of True Sworn. With one hand, we remain sworn to war in the noble mercenary's creed. With the other, we shall keep watch and strike at every Niskaru threat. Ah, you have the totem? Good. We've made some enemies, so now we must make the feeling mutual. Kill 3 Jotun chieftains known as the Ragnar's Chosen. Their deaths will enrage the Ragnar like nothing else. After killing each of the Chosen, plant one of these kobold daggers in his chest. That should do the trick. Look! It begins! And here, you see, it all falls beautifully into place. The kobolds will come for their totem. And this new Ragnar will see a challenge that he cannot ignore, and a battle he'll think he can win. Of course, neither he nor any will survive it. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death. To a Jotun, it's no more than a banner. But a banner planted in their ground is a challenge, and Jotun are proud creatures. Well, there may be a victor for a moment or two, but in the end, I will be the only winner you will see. Meet me on the height above 2 palms. A sight to behold. A sight to my beautiful plan. A sight to behold. A sight to behold. You wanted war? Well, you got it. A sight to behold. A sight to behold. What are you doing? All have lost, but we have won thanks to my genius and your hard work. You have earned your reward. Have this. As for me, I have earned a trip to Odessa and, surely, Centurion rank.
heights of Menethir are thick with...
Greetings.
Come for the contract board? Dead? Why, that's a shame. I'd say I'm sure he'll be missed. But he's from Whitestone, so you never know. And that's his walking staff there. I'll take that. Job well done. Sworn to war.
Greetings.
Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. Damned kobolds is what? Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. Foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. Iron fast? I'd rather rot here, thank you. Ugh. I'll give you a little something if you'll help me, but don't expect me to return to the world. I'd be grateful, but don't expect any wisdom or a fine-crafted gift. Hermits have little to give. I'll need spider sack ichor, fenrack from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those?
What is it?
Another?
Milo at your service.
The Basilica Nostra is warmer than
What now?
Speak to Eric IV.
Well, look at you. I've waited so long for these. There are some things you simply cannot do with ordinary blades. Beautiful, exquisite things. Very well.
Hello. You don't know me, but I've been following you. My name's Hrindy. That parchment you carry, it belongs to me, as Steg always meant it to be a wedding gift. Now, if you please, hand it over. You heard it right. There's no love lost between the families of Darkvari and Zungar. But show me a close family in Apatir, and I'll show you a gnome with a conscience. What about him? I've met hundreds of men more to my liking. Only, those men didn't have what Steg possesses. The Darkvari map. Once I learned Steg had it, I knew I had to act. I was willing to do anything. Even married the idiot. That's right. The fabled treasure map of the Darkvari family. With it, I can build a new life, shed my Zungar name, and start all over again. Don't ever speak my name aloud. I hate hearing it. Zungar. It's the sound of retching, of a man's skull cracking beneath a blow. Every time I hear it, I cringe. Soon I will have a new name to go with my new life. You cannot begin to imagine what I've had to endure to reach this point. Wooing that fool, making false promises. I would die for that parchment, and I will kill for it.
You haven't laid eyes on Hrindy, have you? She is bright, graceful, like an oasis on a summer's day. I was sure she would be here. She said the stars themselves wouldn't wait as long as she would. They're not as bad as some think, but worse than you'd imagine. I have the scars to prove it, unfortunately. You mean Bone Town? Not my favorite place in the world, if you couldn't tell. If the heat doesn't kill you, the guards might. What do you mean she's gone? Was her fear too great? Did she choose to stay behind? I had a feeling this would happen. In the end, I couldn't make her happy. So, she's really gone. I understand. For a short time, I had the sun all to myself. And now, I must let it shine for all the world. Such warmth is meant to be shared. Please, keep the parchment. It is a map drafted by my grandfather. It reveals the locations of all Darkvari hordes in Apatir. It's the best I can give you.
What are you doing all the way down here? You'd think the Sinrix would be enough to keep anyone away. An agent of that snake Eswin, no doubt. You're not the first one he sent to scare me from my mine. I'll tell you what I've told the rest. That claim is Scoria property. You can kill me, but it won't matter. Politicians come and go, they follow the money. But a man protecting his land will never leave it. You tell him that. If you wish to do the right thing, and there is a right thing, meet me later. I'll be staying with allies in Whitestone. It's the last place Eswin would look. Together you and I can save Apotia.
Well, you wouldn't return unless you had something to tell me, am I right? Oh, Ideth laid it out for you, did he? Should have expected that. Well, let me put it this way. The days of the family mines are over. A new order has come to Apotir. The Darkvari, Sinrix, and the Zungars. I will deal with them in time. But the Scorias, they are different. They have the people's respect, and that is powerful. Listen to me carefully. If you walk away from this, from me, you will no longer be welcome in Whitestone. So tell me, friend, are we still partners? Do you have any choice? You just wait. Without me, without Whitestone, Apotir will continue to dry up like the husk it's become. But we can stop it. We organize all the claims under single ownership, mine, and work with the gnomes to get the ore flowing again. Prosperity will return, and with it, the people. I had a feeling you'd stick around. Tough times call for tough choices, and you've got the guts to do what needs to be done. Here's what I want. The deed to Scoria Mine gives me ownership of all ore discovered inside its many shafts. The gnomes say it's run dry, but I don't believe it. Ideth was hiding the truth. That vein is still active, and I need proof. Get inside Scoria and obtain a sample. It's not as easy as it sounds. You'll know what I mean when you get there.
see something special. Hi.
I'm just about ready to give up. Tell me, have you heard any news of Britt Hagney or his final resting place? Azo is alive? And Paul? Of course, there is the matter of his rings. Perhaps I should visit him. Thanks. Take this bow. I won't be needing it. If word of Britt Hagney's death ever reaches your ear, turn away. You don't want to get involved any more than you already are. Sworn to war?
About bloody time. Spider gland for the festering, fenrack for the pain, and stugris to keep my strength up. You've done me a good turn, stranger. I live a hermit's life, so have little to give. I hope you'll take this as thanks. You'll get nothing else. I told you I wouldn't go. There's nothing I can do old Braskin can't handle on his own. I still know him. I came to Menethir because of him, the only man in all Amalur I respect. Of course it is. But you mean, then old Braskin's in Eshara, is he? The sword is untouched, and that green apprentice, untrained? Damn it all! I swore I'd never... But the blade and the apprentice and the blade! It won't do. I must go. Bring me a compound known as Master's Tallow from Hervar's Dorsil, and the sword is yours. I'll be at Ironfast waiting. Hervar's Dorsil by name, just north of the river. A madwoman lived there some years ago. She had perfected the art of making Master's Tallow. She's gone, but I think you'll find some tallows remained. Be swift. Now...
Good day to you.
Every morning.
Gold ever market.
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
Don't you just love the luminary leaf? I could sit here reading for days and not reach past the first shelf. How do you know my brother? Wait. He's dead? Ram. No, it can't be. I told him this would happen, but he wouldn't listen. Pig-headed fool! War isn't the way. Anyone who knows history knows that. But Ram was too impatient for words. He was so brash, so brave.
not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
There's your 4 and 30.
Do you want to ruin me?
Good day to you. Greetings, Warsworn.
You look a little nervous. We aren't visiting Melsen Shear anytime soon, traveler.
Dust, dents, and scars. That's the iron-fast way.
We see few enough
Come for the contract board? Ah, with the Jotun and the kobolds, we just haven't had time to burn them out. Fine work you've done. When there are open jobs, and there's good proof they've been done, then yes, I do. So long.
Polished armor means you haven't used it.
Polished armor means you haven't used it yet.
It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me. And then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown, killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fey or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. They took a big risk getting across Erethel undetected. All to attack one single objective. You. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded, and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble. Your future is right. This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards, so it's no place for subtlety. Find their scrying mirror and smash it. I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. His army is locked in a siege in Cluricon, but small groups sometimes make their way to Erithal. I don't think they've ever been this far inland. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison. You know the Summer Court and Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. The Crystal War, they've been calling it. 10 years ago, the Winter Fae turned violent and attacked us in force, calling themselves the Tuatha Daon. They say it's their sacred duty to cleanse the mortals from their lands. Naturally, the humans and Alpha who live here aren't so happy with that plan. It's been going back and forth for years. Where there's war, there's soldiers nervous about their fate, and that's where I come in. The eyes of Tirnoch are two immense Prismere mirrors. Long as the Tuatha have them trained on you, they'll find you anywhere. The Destiny Stone showed us the tapestry of fate, but your power must have consumed it all. Everything except the wisdom at its core, the Codex of Destiny. The mine has a main entrance and an escape tunnel. The main one is heavily guarded, and the escape is heavily trapped. I saw them bringing Barghests down in cages, probably still being trained. Turn the beasts free, and I bet they cause some chaos for you. The Immortals inscribed their knowledge of fate into the living stone. I always thought it was a poetic way of talking about the theater, but there it is. In your hands. Keep it close, child. Whoever that Aelin Shear is, I don't think she's our enemy. If she wanted us dead, she could have killed us while we were weakened. But she's still trouble. Reminds me of a dark elf who left me half-naked and tied to a Barghest once. Now those were the days. Thanks for giving an old man another chance. It's good to know I've got a future again. And even better not to know what it is. Just go inside and find those scrying mirrors. Don't worry, I'll be coming along to help. Good luck. I'll see you inside. We're here. Not until you smash those mirrors. It'll keep them from tracking you all over Dalentarth. Good luck.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has she? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die. You shall learn. In time, all mortals will know the might of Gadflow, blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch. All mortals end, even if some are more persistent than others.
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow. If you were anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You're a mortal who survived death. You exist outside of fate. The Fae do not deal well with change, and you represent a threat to whatever has driven them to this war. But not all Fae are your enemies. I heard the High King wanted to meet you. Immortal or not, he's not someone you want to keep waiting. I might even see you there, if the old boy still remembers me. Strange crystal, Prismir. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. Gadflow is just some trumped-up Fae who started hearing voices, I gather. But a crazy with an army is still a threat, sure enough. We should be able to get out this...
It's not hard to find it.
What does the telling require?
Please place the codex before him, and he will continue.
It's been a long time since
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae even realize that the great cycle is shifted. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all pass from this world together. It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. Even with the power of a god, you have the humility of a mortal. Perhaps this gift has found the correct person. This is a time of great change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. That is how I understand it now. You are intertwined with the power in Alabastra. There can be no doubt of that. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer, and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. You are right. No one can force this upon you. Such is the true power of freedom. But the Tuatha and their god will continue to seek you out, and they will find you. When they do, know that while you may be unbound by fate, death can find you still. To fight it, you must assemble allies. Seek their aid to assemble your forces. Only then can you hope to resist the forces arrayed against you. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece, the edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original? It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. Our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court our enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost. The summer and winter courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fey who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismir upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around, and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. No, he's a crafty one. If he got away from those assassins in the lab, like you said, I'm sure he found someplace new to hide out. And if anyone's likely to know where he'd go to find safe haven, it'd be the Templar who sponsored his work. His name's Octien. Go southeast to the Hollowlands. Templar Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might find Hughes. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands in Detir. You'll want to talk to him.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape. Neuralim's looking for a savior. And Tatarian is looking for a champion. And somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option, not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Telera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. General Telera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan, but a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha army drove her forces back. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. Be on your way.
You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your papal strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Formerus Hughes. The gnome who brought you back to life? I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. I could ask the same question. For all I know, Formerus Hughes is on the run from you. I am willing to assume that's not the case. Simply put, you may be my only chance of locating Hughes, just as I may be yours. Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hughes produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled, at any cost. Simple. Scholar Hughes is responsible for the most valuable invention in recorded history. He must be protected. I am his patron. Not only am I responsible for his work, but also for his well-being. Formerus has done much for my standing. I owe him. And I am grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. Edessa is the greatest bastion of knowledge and understanding in the world. Alfar have their arts, mankind has its gods, but our only commandments are the solid, predictable laws of natural science. His knowledge is invaluable and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about your safety too, of course. That goes without saying. As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Formerus Hughes is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance. My fellow Templars and I sponsor research that will lead to the betterment of all mortals. Sadly, Alfar and man alike often have trouble accepting the reason behind our decisions. But most gnomes realize we have their best interests in mind.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else.
The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. You must be mistaken. I've tried to contact him ever since I fled Alistar, but he never replied. Until now. Octien. Of course. When all the facts are considered, the truth will emerge. Ah, I am a fool! Octien has sent you to search for me. To have us killed together. Those assassins are proof of this. The Well of Souls is his project. Once it was functioning, he no longer needed me. Not if he could salvage the well in Alistar with Ventrinio's help. Ventrinio de Cellini. We used to work together, in this lab, on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here, long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead. Early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, Is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. Not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your death, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Ah, Edessa, the great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octien. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. I am Fomerus Hughes, Scholar of Vivification, Prime Circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. I knew Octien was more interested in my research than he was in my well-being, but I didn't expect him to send assassins. At least not so soon. Now that he has the well and Ventrinio, he'll have access to eternal life all for himself. And who knows what other magical protections he's collected over the decades. He thinks he's won, but we know his dirty little secrets. And believe it or not, that means we've got the real power. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amalur. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desilini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Octien he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant.